from Plans Meet Paper, and today I'm here to film my week 35 through 37 pregnancy update. And so if I do look down a few times, I hope you excuse me. I've got a few notes here in my planner to make sure I fill you in on all the details of what's been going on in the last couple weeks. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right in and start off with what's been going on with baby. So baby boy is pretty much fully cooked. The last couple things that have been developing while he's in the womb are his immune system. He's been developing and getting a lot of antibodies from me the last couple weeks to prepare him for entering this germy world that we live in. He's also been kind of changing his movement patterns, and this is definitely something I've noticed is instead of doing so much kicking and punching, he's doing a lot more just like rolling and wiggling and kind of just general shifting. They say that as he gets bigger and bigger, he has less space in there, and so he's not able to do kind of those sharp movements as much. He's doing a lot more just kind of gentle moving around. And then also, he is just continuing to gain weight, to fill out a little bit, and work on getting more fat deposits under his skin so that he will be that chubby little baby that we all know and love when he's born, hopefully, here in a few weeks. So that is what's been going on with baby. The three things that aren't totally developed yet are his respiratory system, his digestive system, and his bones and skull. And those three things actually continue to develop for a year after birth. The bones and skull remain pretty soft all throughout pregnancy and after birth, so that it will hopefully make his transition through the birth canal a little bit smoother. The bones are pretty malleable still at that point. And then, of course, his respiratory system and his digestive system aren't able to fully function until he's not in uterus anymore, because right now he's still getting all of his nutrients and air and everything he needs from the umbilical cord, so he won't be able to fully practice with a real, digestion and real breathing until he is out of the womb. So those things continue to develop after he is born as well. So that's what's been going on with baby during weeks 35 through 37. Next, I will chat with you about what's been going on with me, my symptoms during those couple weeks. First and foremost, I'm sure some of you guys are wondering, did he flip? And the answer, unfortunately, is no, he has not. He is still breech, meaning his head is up and his bottom and legs are down, which is the opposite of how it's supposed to be heading towards birth. We've tried a lot of things to try to get him to flip over the last couple weeks. We've been doing all sorts of different techniques from spinningbabies.com. I know some of you guys recommended that last time when I told you he was breech, and I really appreciate the recommendation. We've been doing all sorts of yoga poses and like inverted tilts and kind of like a downward dog type position, but you've got your legs up on the couch on one of them, exercises with your hands and knees, all sorts of different things. We've even tried what's called moxibustion, which is like a Chinese herb that you use with some acupressure points in your feet. All sorts of crazy stuff, guys, and unfortunately, it has not been successful for me and my baby so far. I've been trying something, doing some sort of breech exercise or several every day for over a month now, and he just is very set in the position that he is in. I've been checking in with my doctor every week, and he's pretty much remained right in the same position the whole time. He just seems happy and content right there. So that's where we're at. I'll talk a little bit more about appointments and discussions that I had with my doctor here in a minute, but I wanted to touch base on the other symptoms that I've been having first. So the other symptoms I've been having have been pretty consistent also throughout the last 4 weeks, and I think they're pretty common for this stage of pregnancy, and those are back pain, kind of mid to lower back pain. I've definitely been feeling Not the most comfortable, definitely disrupts my sleep the most. It's not as bad when I'm up and moving around throughout the day, but as soon as I try to lay down or sit down for an extended period of time, it definitely gets pretty uncomfortable. That's the same as it's been with my second symptom, which is rib pain. I've been having a lot of rib pain and discomfort. I think it is a little bit exasperated by the fact that he is breech and his head is right up under my ribs, especially on the right side, all day long, every day. Sometimes his feet are up there too. I can feel him like kicking and punching, and his head's up there, so it's like all the main body parts are there, pressing on my ribs. And I think because of the position that he's in, he's not able to what they call drop down into the birth canal farther. And so I haven't gotten that relief yet from the rib pain. So that's been pretty uncomfortable. Definitely gets worse at night, and anytime I'm trying to sit or lie down. And so I've been just dealing with that as best I can and trying to manage it with like cold packs and hot packs and stretching and things like that, which helps a little bit but doesn't make it totally go away. And I think it's just something I'm going to have to manage and deal with for another couple of weeks until my baby arrives. So that's been another symptom. With that, I think those two things have actually caused two other symptoms, which are exhaustion. I've just not been sleeping well with the rib and back pain, and also a little bit of shortness of breath. He's so high and he's so up under my ribs that I just feel like I'm not able to get a very good deep breath. So I'm sure you'll hear that throughout this video, that I'm a little bit winded and trying to catch my breath all the time. So that's another symptom that I've been having. So those are my main symptoms from 35 to 37 weeks. I've had a few other things here and there, a little bit of like cervical discomfort and pressure type feelings, which I think is probably just him kicking, or also possibly his bottom kind of resting down in that area and just putting pressure on the cervix. So I've been feeling some of that. And then let's see, there's been a few times where I feel like I've felt him trying to turn, which just feels like a lot of movement, a lot of churning and like turning and that kind of sensation in my uterus, which is a little bit uncomfortable, but I've been so excited about maybe he'll turn that that doesn't really bother me. It would be more exciting if it was successful, but I've definitely felt him trying to turn a couple of times and then a couple of hours later going back the other way. So that's been another symptom that I've experienced in the past couple weeks as well. That kind of leads me into the events and appointments that I've had from week 35 to 37. I am in the point of my pregnancy now where I'm having weekly check-ins with my doctor. So every week I go in and she checks to see how I'm doing, how baby's doing. He's been doing well overall. She always checks his positioning first, and as I mentioned, he's been breech the whole time. She did give us an option of trying what's called, I think, an external version, but basically, or cephalic version. I probably pronounced that way wrong, so I apologize. But basically what it is it's a procedure where they give you some medicine into your uterus, like a muscle relaxant, to try to keep everything calm down there, and then they manually try to turn the baby by applying a lot of force from the outside. And that was something that was an option for us, and we did a lot of research, my husband and I. We talked to our doctor a lot about the statistics for someone in my scenario, or in my, group, with the position that he's in and my body and everything. And then we just did a lot of research online too. And with all of that, we did decide not to attempt the external version, which was a hard decision. I hope we made the right one. Basically what it came down to is the statistics were not good. We had like a 40-ish% chance that if we attempted this procedure, which, by the way, the procedure is supposed to be like super uncomfortable, which is what it is. I wasn't too worried about that. But it does have some risks associated with it, including preterm labor and causing issues with the placenta and causing issues with your amniotic fluid, and also just causing a lot of bruising and swelling for both me and baby. So those risks made me pretty uncomfortable. And with all of those, there was still only like a 40% chance that it would be successful in the moment, that they would actually be able to get him flipped. And then after that 40% chance of possible success, there's a decent chance that he would flip back on his own. So he would choose to go back, especially since he hasn't moved very much. It's like he's really set in that position and he really likes it for whatever reason. And so I don't know, mother's intuition, I just feel like he would go back. I don't know if that's a correct assumption or not, but that's kind of what I was feeling, is that he would try to shift back even if we did manually turn him. And then also, even if they did succeed and he stayed head down, there's still, at my hospital, over 30% chance that you have to have a C-section for other reasons. So it came down to just the statistics weren't very good and the risks were a little bit too heavy with that bad of statistics for us to choose to do it. For those of you who might be new to my pregnancy journey, I've had a ton of testing and procedures and things done throughout the pregnancy. And especially as I've been getting later in the pregnancy, I've kind of questioned some of the decisions that we've made, and I'm not sure if I would do them again. So that's why I went with a little bit more of a hands-off approach at this point in pregnancy. I just did not want to assume any more risks by choice for my baby and myself. And I just kind of wanted to leave it in God's hands, and I guess also in baby's hands, of if he's gonna flip, he's gonna flip, and if he's not, he's not. And I am gonna have to be okay with whatever happens. So that's where we're at. With that being said, I'm 38 weeks today, and if he does not flip in the next week, I do have a scheduled C-section after that time. So I'm really coming down to the wire here, and part of me really thinks at this point he most likely will not flip, and I'm just kind of wrapping my head around that, and I'm getting to the point where I'm really okay with it. I don't care how he gets here. I just want him to arrive and be happy and healthy, and that's going to be totally fine with me, whether it's a C-section delivery, a natural delivery, whatever happens, it's going to be fine. So that's where I'm at. That's really it for appointments. We haven't had anything else major going on. I will say I've been trying to pay attention to his movement and his kind of daily patterns a lot. I did have one appointment towards the beginning of 37 weeks where his heart rate was just a little bit low. And so I've been trying to make sure that I'm paying a lot of attention to his movement and making sure that he's staying active. And if I notice any changes in that, I'll definitely let my doctor know right away. So that's been something that I've been working on this past week as well. So that's it for appointments. As far as events, nothing major. My husband and I did take some maternity photos right around 36 weeks. So we just took our tripod and our GoPro camera and took them on our own, which turned out pretty well. We got quite a few good shots, and it was kind of fun and relaxing to just have it be the two of us and go take some photos. So I will include some of our maternity photos here at the end of the video so you guys can check out and see what my bump looks like, and then also see how the photo shoot turned out. I'll also include one photo that's just taken here in the next day or so, just to show you what I look like at the end of 37 weeks as well. I do feel like I've grown a little bit even just in the last week, so I'll include that photo so you can see my bump date as well. Other than that, I've just been getting together with some other moms that I've met through my birthing class and some other moms that I know from previously, and just kind of hanging out with them a little bit, going on walks. But all of us are kind of getting ready to go for our babies that are going to be born here in the next couple weeks. Some of them have actually already had their babies, so it's just an exciting time for all of us, and it's been fun to make some new connections and make some new friends that will turn into, you know, great people to hang out with once our babies are here, and to have some play dates and things like that as well. So that's what's been going on in the last couple weeks. I really appreciate you guys watching this video and following along with my pregnancy journey. If any of you guys out there are pregnant too, I am thinking about you guys, and I hope that your pregnancies are going really well. This might be my last pregnancy update, or I might have one more depending on when he decides to show, or whether I make it to that scheduled C-section date. But I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for following along and for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, as always, please feel free to leave them in the box down below, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.